Good afternoon and welcome to the Maryland SoccerPlex here in Germantown, Maryland. My name is Michael Minnick. I'm alongside Danielle Malagary today. And Danielle, it's opening day. Two beautiful words.
We have been looking forward to this since August. The players have been looking forward to this since last August. They're very excited to get started. Brand new team, brand new squad. Can't wait.
Let's unveil the 11s for you. First, for the visitors from Western New York, Lydia Williams, the Australian, starts in goal. Of course, A.D. Franch out for the season, so Williams brought in to try and fill her shoes in goal. In the back, Haley Palmer, Amy Barzik, Brittany Taylor, and Kat Reynolds. In the midfield for Aaron Lyons Club today is Angela Salem, Bacall Zerboni, Sam Kerr, Carly Lloyd, and Vicky Losada. And up top, Adriana. Of course, Abby Wallenbach, Danielle, ruled out for this game.
Right.
Still suffering from the orbital injury she suffered against China for the national team on Thursday.
Right. I mean, they're definitely going to take a hit. They're not going to have that physical presence up top without Abby there, but, you know, they will rally behind and just get this opening day started off fresh.
For the Spirit, the back five are a back five you could have seen at any time last year.
Right.
Ashton Harrison goal, Robin Gale, Tony Presley, Tori Huster, Ellie Kruger across the back. But once you get past Diana Matheson, that front side, totally different.
Yes.
Kyle Averbush, Christine Nairn, Crystal Dunn, Jody Taylor, Renee Cuellar, all brand new in red this year.
Well, the back line has no excuse saying that they're new to this because they worked together last year. So let's hope they come out with a solid game today.
Substitutes today for Western New York. The backup goalkeeper is the rookie Kelsey Weiss. Field players, the former Spirit forward Jasmine Spencer and Makite, along with Kristen Edmonds and Courtney Wetzel. For the Spirit, Lori Lindsay, the captain last year, starts this year on the bench, along with the left backs Cecilia Sanvai, Veronica Perez, who played for Western New York last year, Chantel Jones, the backup keeper, Bianca Sierra, and Jordan Angeli, who just might make her first professional game in 3 years.
Right, and I hope she does get out there. I'm excited to see her kick off the season on the right foot.
One name you did not hear there was Denisha Adams, who was listed as probable for this game, did not get ready in time, will not be playing at all for the Spirit today.
It's unfortunate, but whatever's going on with her, hopefully they get that resolved, and then we'll see her out here in the next game.
I thought she played very well in the preseason too, so
oh yes,
she should be like getting a free agent as well when she steps in
right
against Kansas City, hopefully.
Absolutely.
Spirit and the Reds will attack the Beer Garden Inn, going from left to right here in the first half. Western New York in the road whites will go towards the scoreboard and right to left. It's a beautiful day. Temperatures in the high 70s, lower 80s. A little bit of a breeze, but for April, this is absolutely perfect.
Right. I mean, this is going to be, other than yesterday's training, the first really warm day. So let's see how the heat affects the game.
Official Miguel Pandora waiting for the appropriate second to get them started, as I believe we're a little early with the pregame
right.
ritual of the lineup, so I'm sure both teams are more than eager to get started.
Yes, absolutely.
A couple seconds more. And finally, Pandora blows the whistle, and 2014 starts. As the team that ended last year on the bottom, Washington, plays the team that ended last year on top of the regular season standings, Western New York. But they start this year on level pegging, and the Spirit with a great chance early as the volley from Jody Taylor is saved diving to a right by Lydia Williams.
That's a great way to start off the first 20 seconds here in Germantown.
Long punt headed on, looking for the run of Adriana. Off the line is Ashlyn Harris. So it looks like Adriana for now is going to play as that lone front row with Abby Wallenbach, not available here in sunglasses, but not on the field.
Right.
Ball cleared out for a throw in. Be a toss for Gale in the Spirit. A couple steps past midfield on the far side. So Robin Gale, who I thought had her best match, maybe in a Spirit uniform, against college competition, albeit.
Right.
Against Maryland last week. Gets the start over Sanvai left back. I think that was the battle all preseason for that spot.
Right.
Gale's throw up the line. Too tall for Jody Taylor. Headed down, now Averbush with a touch. Volleyed forward by Zerboni for Western New York. Now flicked on by Sam Kerr, the speedy Australian. Not cleared well by Presley, and now Western New York on the move. Cross towards the middle, and just a step out of the run of the Spanish international Vicky Losada. It's a goal kick for Washington in the second minute.
A lot of action here in the first 2 minutes of play. Let's hope they can keep up this pace and make something happen. Both teams.
Losada, one of the new additions for Western New York, the 23-year-old from Terraza, Spain, played for FC Barcelona, of course a huge name in world soccer, and won the last two Spanish Liga titles for Barca. Punt towards the near side, Nairn fighting for it against Losada. 1-4 by Western New York, picked up now on the left flank. Adriana can't find the handle when it's cleared across midfield. Barzik deputizing at center back with a missed hit there. Now the captain, Brittany Taylor, pressured by Jody Taylor. Brittany gets the edge there over her namesake and goes to midfield for Adriana. Marked tightly by Houston, she'll play off Carly Lloyd. And now Krieger with an easy pickup.
The one thing I like about Jody Taylor being high, she runs for 90 minutes. She will run from whistle 1 to the last whistle, so she'll make things happen up there defensively.
The Spirit shape looks like Claire's really going to play wide on that right side.
Right.
Crystal Dunn to tackle the other flank on the left. Dunn, of course, the #1 overall draft pick and already a fixture on the national team coming out of North Carolina, so a wonderful pickup, maybe the biggest pickup that Mark Parsons made in the offseason.
I definitely think so. Last week in the game against Maryland, she made things happen, getting up and back on that left flank offensively, defensively, had a goal, had an assist. She was doing some really great things out there.
Sam Kerr chipped on the far side. A free kick for Brittany Taylor, who wears the captain's armband today. Taylor and Krieger, your captains today. Interesting because we mentioned Lindsay on the bench for Washington.
Right.
Recall Zerboni captained Western New York last year. She's not wearing the armband today.
New season, new leadership.
Headed by Krieger, volleyed by Zerboni towards Carly Lloyd on the left side. Lloyd will get it back from Losada. Pass is deflected towards the middle. Rising high forward is Averbush. Popped up again in the box, and Houston wins it. It'll fall to Averbush's feet. Dunn tripped up, and Western New York will steal possession as Reynolds stepped up. Adriana with a layout for Carly Lloyd, who scored her 49th and 50th international goal for the U.S. against China on Thursday. Left it comes for Haley Palmer, the rookie out of San Diego State. Drops it for Losada, but the pass too hard, and now here's Matheson on the move. Hooking up with Jody Taylor. Returns inside and finds Averbush in lots of space. Dunn right in front of her. Averbush still on the ball. Plays it. They're looking for Dunn. It's deflected. Dunn gets a knee on it, and it'll trickle out for a goal kick as Kat Reynolds was there on the defensive play for Western New York.
This is a completely different front 5 and 6 here for the Spirit. All preseason they were very creative off of the ball, and the more they play together, the more they're going to continue to grow, and I think they're going to be really fun to watch.
Amy Barczyk, who was defending on that play, also kind of in an unfamiliar role. She's more of a defensive midfielder, but playing center back today because Kat Williamson was suspended. Kind of an interesting story there, where she was playing for Portland last year in the final against Western New York, got 2 yellows and was sent off, and her 1-game suspension comes for her new club.
Right.
Against the Spirit today.
You don't see that happen often.
Now Lloyd on the move for the flash. Easily picked off by Presley. A possession given back to Western New York in the center of the park. It's Angela Salem playing it back for Taylor. Wide right it comes for Kat Reynolds. Taylor, pressured by Jody Taylor, goes up the line, flicked on by Sam Kerr. Nobody home in white, and Gale will shepherd it back for a goal kick in the 5th minute. This was a series last year that was very much in favor of Western New York.
Yes.
4 times, Western New York won 3. The first meeting, the home opener last year, was a 1-1 tie. The only goal the Spirit scored against Western New York was the penalty for Matheson late.
And was a very exciting game.
Ball intended for Cuellar, broken up. Now Averbush on it for Washington, dropping it back for Gale. Over the top, looking for Cuellar, and the wind gets that one a little bit, and it one-hops into the paws of Lydia Williams, a 25-year-old from Australia.
Something I was thinking from the previous games that we've watched of the Spirit, Averbush needs to get herself a little bit more involved, and I think in the first 6 minutes here, she has done a really good job at her movement off the ball and getting a little bit more involved.
I think playing 2 in defensive midfield helps you with that, because it gives you that freedom where if Nairn goes, Averbush can hang and vice versa.
Right.
Gale heading it forward, intended for Dunn, but it's stolen away instead by Taylor, who now plays Amy Barczyk. The former Colorado Buffalo goes in the center of the park for Salem. Wide right it comes, Kerr let it roll, and Kat Reynolds not on the same page. It's out for a throw.
Just minor miscommunication there between the two of them.
Kerr, just 20 years old, and someone that I know, Danielle, you were very impressed with last year.
Yes, I was.
New York.
Yeah, she just made things happen out there on the flank for Western New York. She's very crafty on the ball.
Nairn, double team, stays on the ball, drops it for Gale. Nice cut inside to evade Losada, who's now switched sides. Matheson all the way back to Presley.
That was a nice little touch by Matheson just to relieve a little bit of the pressure on the midfield there.
Now Houston. Averbush, sliding challenge there from Zerboni, knocks it back to Houston. Now Presley under some pressure, goes all the way back to Ashlyn Harris. Plenty of players with ties to Western New York on the Spirit roster. Ashlyn Harris, of course, is one of them. Was the starting goalkeeper for the WPS champions in 2011 after she learned under Aaron McLeod here in Washington in 2010. Ball will hang for Jody Taylor, who chests it down to the run of Cuellar. Cuellar bodied up by Amy Barczyk. Play will continue as Matheson gets a foot in. Now Dunn running at the top of the 18. Touch, though, is too heavy and easily picked off by Williamson. Excuse me, by Reynolds. Now it's Reynolds again. Got my cats mixed up. Williamson.
It's first game.
Here's Taylor. Easy giveaway to Everbush, who immediately finds Matheson. Now chip through for the run of Jody Taylor, but Barczyk breaks it up well again. Wide right, it comes for Kerr. Good pace to this game, good flow so far, Danielle.
I think they're going to be incredibly high energy here in the first 15-20 minutes just because it is their first game of the season. They're out here to prove themselves.
Nairn winning a tackle. Appeal for handball not given for Western New York. And it comes for Krieger, the Spirit captain. Choking up the right side. Setting up across and playing a hard one in. Cuellar gets a piece of it, but not enough to direct it on goal. And it'll be a goal kick for Western New York in the 9th minute.
Rather than trying to flick that on, I think Cuellar should probably bring that down with one touch and then try to strike it on a second one. Maybe put something a little bit more on frame.
That's a tough ball to bring down as the first runner.
Oh, yeah.
So nicely driven cross from Alec.
It was.
Krieger. I think she wanted to go far post with that and maybe didn't get enough loft on it.
Right.
I think, too, it'll be interesting with the wind being somewhat of a factor to see how you do cross the ball. If you hang it up, maybe it's not going to go where you want it to.
Yeah.
Maybe the driven ball is a better option.
Right. I mean, definitely. Especially probably always here at the SoccerPlex because it's always windy. A driven ball is always better going through the 18.
Here's Tori Huster. Averbush. We have an ACC triangle in the center of the park with Huster and Averbush and Presley, two of the three former Florida State players. Presley now going direct, looking for Crystal Dunn up the left side. Dunn in a foot race there, and getting a step in before she could was Reynolds, but Crystal Dunn's hustle wins the Spirit a corner.
Spirit weren't great on free kicks, especially in this preseason. Let's hope they worked on it this week and get something on this. Christine
Nairn will do the duty here from the far side. Look for Huster, Presley as targets on this. And of course, Western New York not only misses Abby Wambach offensively on set pieces, but defensively in situations like this. Be an outswinging ball from the left foot of Christine Nairn. Driven in towards the penalty spot, towards Averbush. She wins the first header, but the second ball is cleared.
Averbush did a good job to try to keep that in play, put it back into the 18, but just nobody there.
Harris chipping it up the side. Averbush loses that 50-50 header to Palmer. Now Salem. Adriana chipping it through, looking for Kerr. Flag is up on Sam Kerr. The Australian just a step off.
Right. I thought Huster was maybe even with her there. You saw Huster raise her hand up saying offsides. I thought they were definitely even.
And that's the danger, I think, of playing, you know, that 4-2-3-1 is wingers drift inside. Those center backs have to make sure they can see what's in front of them.
Absolutely.
Sam Kerr can't sneak in behind them.
Right.
Haley Palmer, who's taking the throw in here, as I said, from San Diego State. One of those players that just showed up for a tryout and fought her way onto the team. Two-time Mountain West Defensive Player of the Year and getting a chance to start from the beginning at left back today.
So you could kind of call it a Cinderella story, but not really. She's a pretty distinguished player.
Back heel now, and Zerboni's in. Zerboni with the shot, it's deflected. Adriana will get a second look, and Gale sliding in to make sure she doesn't get that shot off. A corner for Western New York, but good defending from the Spirit.
Right, yeah, absolutely. I mean, the Spirit didn't even see Zerboni get behind. Robin Gale did just a fantastic job at recovering there and getting something on that ball to knock it out of bounds.
It'll be Losada taking the corner right-footed from the near side for Western New York in the 12th minute. No score here at the Maryland SoccerPlex. Low-driven ball towards the near post. Krieger gets a knee on it. Back at it comes Losada, will try again. This time a better ball into the 6-1, hops to Ashlyn Harris.
Those type of balls, those low-driven hard balls are very hard to clear. That was a very good cross there.
Here's Ali Krieger. Inside it comes for Nairn. Now Huster. And off of Losada for a throw. Salem with some good work, but Matheson stands her ground, uses her body well, and finds Ali Krieger.
She's not going to let her get away with that nutmeg.
Possession, though, given right back to Zerboni in Western New York. Now it's Lloyd. Taylor. Works it right for Kat Reynolds. Early cross from Kat towards the top of the 18. Zerboni gets a piece of it, as does Huster. And it falls to Renee Cuellar on the near sideline.
Both teams have created some really good chances in the first 13 minutes here. Just that final touch, that strike on frame, just hasn't been there yet.
Good combinations as well.
Right.
The back heel that sent Zerboni
right.
for Western New York was a beautiful play. Taylor playing the early through ball, but an easy pick for Amy Barczyk. And I think that kind of chemistry, Danielle, is something we're going to see more and more in year two.
Right.
As teams that have played together last year gel, and you throw a couple new bodies into the mix, but you've got those combinations that worked well last year.
Right, absolutely.
Reynolds, speaking of which, overlapping on the right side, working with Sam Kerr, playing the early ball in towards Adriana, sliding clearance from Tony Presley, and a throw for the Flash in the 14th minute. Kerr popping it up. Dunn wins the second header forward for Matheson. Sliding tackle there from Sam Kerr knocks it out for a Spirit throw. With that one player out front, Western New York is kind of conceded this little bit of space for the defenders to sit on the ball,
yeah.
But then they're trying to pick off the pass.
Right. They're doing a good job at not allowing the back line of the Spirit to play.
Kind of like a trap in basketball rather than a man-to-man press where you're waiting for the opponent to put it where they don't want to put it.
Right.
Losada. Palmer now. Losada again. Tries the shot from deep, and it goes over Ashlyn Harris. Have to figure the wind got a piece of that one.
Absolutely.
Vicky Losada, just 14 and a half minutes into her debut stateside, has put Western New York on the board.
Absolutely. All she did was take a look up and see how far off of her line Ashlyn Harris was. One of the major rules for goalkeeping, the further out they are, the closer you are to your line. So she was just a bit too far off her line there. Couldn't make that save, especially with the wind behind her.
So, sure, this is a new year for the Spirit, but starting the way last year's team did, they had to come out of a lot of holes early.
Oh, absolutely. They're used to this.
And I think a good start for the Spirit.
Oh, yeah. I mean, other than that play, I definitely think they've been doing some really good things out there. Somebody has to step to that ball and not allow her to get that shot from 40 yards out. The pressure just wasn't there in the midfield.
The official announcement said the goal was unassisted. I have to agree with that.
Right.
Losada did most of the work there. Throw now for Washington in the 16th minute. So now in 4 games and change, Western New York has outscored Washington 11-1 head-to-head. Now Robin Gale. Switch for Huster. Dummy run there from Jody Taylor, but it doesn't come through for Matheson, but Huster will get to try again. Taylor trying to flick it for Nairn this time, but once again, not on the same page as Salem picks off for Barczyk.
And like you said, the more they play together, the more they'll learn each other's habits and how they play.
Nairn now can poke her head out, play it through for Matheson, but the flag is up on Matheson. That play was on for, I think, just a little bit too long.
Right.
The ball was a little late in coming.
I think Nairn did a great job at getting it off her foot quickly, but Matheson's run was just a little bit too quick.
It looks like Matheson and Dunn, at least for the time being, have interchanged a little bit where Matheson's playing a bit higher and Dunn's tucking back a little bit. Lloyd wins the header forward, looking for Adriana. Comes through to Ashlyn Harris. Well, I think Western New York fans were expecting Adriana to be the Spanish player that scored for them this year, but Vicky Losada, the first one to get her name on the score.
I'm sure they'll take it either way.
Now Cuellar on the right side, trying to get a step on Palmer, gets the cross off, and that was not too far off.
Not at all.
Play on the far side.
I don't think anyone was expecting that to even stay in play. across the end line there.
And I guarantee that Yael Averbush took note of that goal Losada scored and said, I'm going to shoot from 30 yards as soon as I can in that second half when the wind's going for me.
Right.
You saw her score a great goal from distance against Maryland.
Yes, it was.
Nairn off the quick restart. Now Huster. Krieger. Keeps it in play up the line. Cuellar trying to go to work and standing her ground well is Haley Palmer. A throw for the Spirit in the 18th minute. Crowd wanted a foul there, but Averbush played through, found Krieger, but the pass from Allie Krieger off the mark. Throw in for Western New York. And we were talking before the game, Danielle, about would we see Allie Krieger start after going 2 90-minute stints against China this week for the U.S.?
Well, she's fit. She's ready to go. I'm sure she wouldn't want to be on the sideline during the home opener for the Spirit. Definitely not.
Playing on Sunday rather than Saturday, I think, is a huge help in that area.
Oh, absolutely.
Barczyk evades pressure well, and now Brittany Taylor will just touch it back for Lydia Williams. Ball over the top by Kat Reynolds, an easy pick for her opposite right back, Allie Krieger, who touches it back for Harris. Lydia Williams in goal for Western New York. One of their later additions is Zadie French did tear her ACL out for the year, so Western New York not feeling 100% comfortable with the rookie Kelsey Weiss out and picked up Williams, who plays her club ball with Sam Kerr last year in Australia and also played in Sweden last year, so a World Cup veteran for Australia. Free kick for the Spirit will come, and Ashlyn Harris will step up to take it. Goes short for Huster. Header won by Barczyk in the back. Now Zerboni in the center circle will lay it off well for Kat Reynolds. Pressure by Crystal Dunn. Dunn gets a foot in. Does well to win a throw.
The movement off the ball has to be a little bit better. Jodie Taylor does a great job at moving, but Renee Cuellar needs to do a little bit more work checking to the ball rather than just running away every single time. She hasn't really got it to her feet. She looks for it over top every single time.
Zerboni for Adriana. Through now for Losada, the goal scorer. Back heel now for Carly Lloyd. Plays it inside now. Losada. Comes left now for Palmer. Cross it in the middle, blocked by Huster. Now volleyed by Averbush forward. Cuellar. Krieger, Matheson. Now Averbush. Dunn. Presley. Bit of a quiet start to Crystal Dunn's first professional game. She's like, whenever she has the ball, there are 2 players in white immediately on her back.
Well, they really haven't been working up the left flank very much. It's really been on this side of the field. She's got to find that left side a little bit more.
Huster lost the ball, but did a nice job there with her body to keep Adriana from making the steal. Now things open up a bit more for Presley. Over the top it goes for Jodie Taylor on the left flank. Marked by Brittany Taylor, she'll get it in the corner. Look for options. Drop it for Matheson. Early cross from Matheson towards Nairn. Nairn rises for the header, and it goes off the post, off of Williams and out.
That was
Nairn was wide open.
Yeah, I didn't think she was even going to be able to get much on that, but she did a great job at directing it to the far post.
Can't see it. Corner kick for the Spirit will come on the near side. In the 22nd minute, again, it'll be Christine Nairn to take. Be a left-footed ball once again.
The good thing about Nairn, she can hit it right or left. She's dangerous both ways.
Headed down by Huster, comes back out to the right side. Nairn will try it again with the left foot, cuts back inside, falls for Matheson off the deflection. Left-footed ball in, looking for the flick was Jodie Taylor's. Gale was in the middle. Nairn with a heavy touch there, and Western New York finally gets possession. Switch now for Lloyd. And unable to check her run there was Kerr, and she knew it, let it go through.
Right.
That was on, except she was on the other side of midfield. If she had stayed right at the strike, she would have been off on that right side.
It was just a little bit too slow for Western New York to build that ball. They just need to play that in one ball rather than 2 or 3 to get it out of there. Play that long diagonal ball, and she's wide open.
Averbush going direct looking for Taylor, but it's picked off by Brittany Taylor. Now Salem. Gale heads it down. Cuellar popping up on the left now as they've moved Crystal Dunn to the right. Zerboni comes out of the tangle with the ball and finds Carly Lloyd. Lloyd not picked up yet, plays it wide right for Kerr. Making the central run is Adriana. Kept alive on the flank by Kerr and not quite as Gale put the hand up, peeled, and got the whistle there on the far sideline. A throw for the Spirit midway through the first half.
Kerr let the ball run just a little bit too much there. She just needs to get a touch.
Vicky Losada's goal in the 15th minute. Wind aided from about 25 yards out, the difference so far for Western New York. The top offense in the league last year, off to a good start this year. Up for Matheson now. Cuellar now. Matheson. And it trickles under the foot of Cuellar. Throw for Western New York. Cuellar appealing that it touched a flash boot on the way out, but Miguel Pandero not buying that.
I think he's done a decent job so far. He's just allowing, you know, the physicality is fine, but he's just allowing them to play.
Yeah, we've seen a physical game, like you said, Danielle, but you know, nothing malicious,
right.
Nothing harmful. Just, you know, a physical play like the play that Houston made after she lost the ball,
right.
Put a body on Martin. You know, that's just good contact. Nairn. So Boney building out of the back. Again, Spirit Soccer on YouTube, brought to you by Mama Lucia's as the ball comes through. Flag is up on Adriana. Also the Hampton Inn, a loyal Spirit sponsor. We thank them for their support. Mama Lucia is back once again as one of the wonderful treats here on the Spirit concourse behind us. So
does that mean the players get Mama Lucia pizza after every game? Because that would be glorious.
It would be in my contract, without question. Krieger. Taylor playing it through for Matheson, but just a little too much on that one as Palmer slides in. And wearing those red uniforms, Danielle, you can get pizza sauce on you. It doesn't even show.
Yes. I'm sure they're so excited about that.
Nairn. Now Presley. Cuellar. Taylor comes flying in. Again, the play on there is Wood will pick up for Western New York and play it wide right.
Those types of balls are kind of hard to play there from Presley because it's just going to hold up in the wind.
Losada and Wood with some good work. Now it comes wide right again for Kerr. Nicely weighted ball for the Australian. Goes to work against Presley. Gets the cross off low. Volley from Adriana towards the middle, towards Lloyd, is blocked as Ali Krieger came over to make the vital touch.
Western New York's doing a great job at attacking down the flanks. They're finding so much space on the outside. Their outside mids are just so spread out. They're doing a great job there.
Palmer blocked by Crystal Dunn. Palmer recovers nicely, evades the #1 pick, and finds Salem. Now it's Zerboni. Yeah, and I think that wide play, Danielle, is something that's going to be even more deadly, obviously, when Wambach comes back, but it's working very well today without adding the lineup. Using Adriana in that role as the target for the lone striker to make runs.
But they're not really finding Adriana to her feet. They're definitely just attacking on the width here. Every single time it goes wide. A couple passes in the middle, and they find their flank players.
We saw the Spirit's outside backs really get forward a lot in the preseason. You can't do that against Western.
No. I think it's definitely limited the amount that Krieger's able to get up on the right flank, for sure.
Averbush getting a foot in. Now it's Nairn for Cuellar. Passes blocked by Salem and falls to the feet of Brittany Taylor, who gives it back to Angela Salem. Back heel from Losada, misses the mark. Now Averbush again. Playing the direct ball again. Barzik gets her feet tangled briefly, but the ball was right there, and she recovered nicely back to Williams. Spirit playing a lot more direct than I think Mark Parsons would like right now, too.
I I don't think they're in panic mode because it is still very early in the game, but they just got to knock it. Find Jody Taylor's feet. She's so good at moving off the ball, and she makes things happen.
Here's Crystal Dunn, speaking of making things happen, trying the ball inside. It's blocked. Tangle there, and a foul against McCall Zerboni. She doesn't think so.
She really had no play on the ball there. Crystal Dunn did a fantastic job at shielding, and she just went for her body. That absolutely was a foul.
Krieger wanted to take it quickly, but Losada got in the way, and now Krieger will try a more direct route. Square for Averbush. She'll try the left-footed blast, and that's always going high. That's the shot she needs to try next half when she has the wind.
Right.
28th minute, Western New York winning 1-0. Michael Minnick, Danielle Malagari here at the Maryland SoccerPlex. Opening day for these two clubs in year 2 of the National Women's Soccer League. Glad you joined us here on your Sunday afternoon, wherever you are. Great day to be here. Beautiful weather.
Way better than a few weeks ago.
Averbush wins the header forward. Yeah, we're not covering our equipment with rain gear this time, Danielle, like we did 2 weeks ago.
Shivering.
Both are losses that I'm more than happy to part with. Zerboni slow to get up as Adriana handles in the center circle for Salem. Ball goes right for Kerr, and the flag was up on her anyway, but the ball went out. Zerboni still hasn't picked her effort up to a jog now. She is starting to move a little bit better, so shaking off the knock for now. I'm sure she'll feel that a little bit stronger tomorrow. Here's Salem. Taylor again with pressure on Brittany Taylor, but the former Yukon Husky wins it away for Barzik. Now Losada shielding nicely, turning outside and playing the outside back. Haley Palmer has lots of time and space as Krieger recovers. Palmer now on the end line. Left-footed cross comes in towards the far post, headed by Robin Gale. Second ball kept alive by Western New York. Falls for Lloyd, but her first touch is heavy, and she can't complete the volley like she did on Thursday night. Scoring 2 typical Carly Lloyd goals, just rockets with about 18, 20 yards out.
She's always good for those. Makes it very exciting to watch her play.
Foul against the Flash and a free kick for the Spirit. Huster back for Harris. So about 30 minutes in, Danielle, what's your evaluation of these two teams so far?
The first 15 minutes or so, it was, both teams came out with just fire. The pace of the game has slowed down a little bit, and we've seen creativity from both sides. I think it's really good soccer right now.
Matheson turning it around for Nairn. Now back for Averbush, who's shifted into that center back spot we saw her play a little bit in the preseason.
She did well.
Mm-hmm. Mark Parsons said that was about getting her on the ball more, and certainly the way this game is playing with Western New York is kind of conceding that possession in the back four. It's a good chance for Yael Averbush to get some touches. Nairn tripped up there. Referee will have a word with McCall Zerboni.
Nairn definitely has a few choice words for Zerboni there, but it looked like her cleats just got stuck together.
Miguel Pandoro says that's the final warning for Zerboni. Does not reach into the pocket, however, so still waiting for the first booking of this game, 30 minutes and 40 seconds in. Krieger comes over to take the free kick. Presley also in the vicinity. Now Presley will step off and let Krieger do the honors. West New York holding that line at the top of the 18. The chip from Krieger towards the 6, headed by Barzik first for Western New York. Now Matheson will volley it forward. Touch done now by Nairn. Backfield now flick from Tony Presley, and the flag is up on Cuellar.
Western New York did a great job on that I guess I would call it a mini clearance. It wasn't a great clearance, but they did a great job when they got that clearance of just stepping and condensing that space. And Monet Cuellar just wasn't really paying attention. They got a little bit behind their back line.
Yeah, I agree with you. Good organization there. I think just keeping your line at the 18 makes that free kick so much tougher because it really has to be a perfect chip to find somebody on your team in red.
But even on the initial ball in, there was no Spirit players around the ball. They were kind of just waiting for it to fall rather than attacking it.
Kerr with the flick through, but Adriana unable to get on the end of that one. It's Ashlyn Harris with the scoop instead. Krieger. And the switch for Presley. Presley, another player with Western New York ties, won the 2012 WPSL Elite title with Aaron Lyons in the Flash. Scored the tying goal in stoppage time of the final to force penalty kicks, which the Flash won on.
He's had some very distinguished players play for him up there over the years.
Marta certainly comes to mind. Christine Sinclair.
Yes.
Alex Morgan. Abby Wambach right now. Carly Lloyd right now. I mean, that's pretty much the front half of a FIFA best 11 right now. Ball intended for Dunn. Falls for Averbush off the clearance. Nice step and win there from Losada, who's had a great first match for Western New York, I think. But turns it over this time to Matheson. Nairn, pressured by Lloyd, goes left for Renee Cuellar, and the advantage does not materialize, and Miguel Pandora will call the play back, whistle the foul, and give a free kick. I believe to Western New York, though. Or is the flag up?
It might have been offsides, but I thought they were going to give that call to Nairn. She's kind of being targeted a little bit here.
That was my initial thought, was it was advantage didn't materialize and they blew the foul, but it'll go the other way.
Apparently we can't hear you. Is your mic on?
Ball comes through to Harris. Left now for Presley. Here's Nairn. Now Huster. Averbush. Give away to Zerboni. It'll fall again for Averbush. Now it's Matheson. Through now for Jody Taylor on the edge of the 18. Tries the right-footed chip and misses just wide of the near post. What a first goal that would have been for Jody Taylor.
I think going into this season, people ask, well, who's going to be the goal scorer? I think, obviously, that didn't go in, but I think we have one right there. He's able to put the ball in the back of the net for his field.
Aaron Lyons having a word with Carly Lloyd right now. I believe that the discussion was about the interchanging the Spirit have made with Cuellar and Dunn switching sides. I saw a lot of the X diagonal symbol there from the two in the conversation. Matheson now playing it through for Jody Taylor, but off her line is Williams to snuff it out.
Those types of balls are really hard to run onto because Jody Taylor's running the ball's playing straight. It's just really hard for her to catch up. It's very easy for the goalkeeper to pick up there.
Williams will take a little bit of the water off the boil here in the 35th minute with their team leading 1-0. Vicky Losada's goal in the 15th minute, the difference right now in favor of Western New York here in the season opener for both sides here at Maureen Hendricks Field. Adriana going left for Palmer. Early ball in, and the flag is up late. I thought he was going to pull it initially, kept it down, and then finally did pull it up as Kerr had come all the way over from her right midfield spot. Good volley.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
You know it didn't count. It was nice
with no pressure on her. Great volley.
Nairn. Robin Gale. Christine Nairn again, trying to beat a double team. Good ball up the line for Cuellar. Back heel into the path of Matheson, and she'll give it back to Cuellar on the left side. But Barzik, wise to it, knocks it out for a throw. Ball again. The Mexican international. Early ball in. Skips by one, but Barzik with the clearance. Now her and Robin Gale, and out for a Spirit throw. And a free kick for the Flash. Bearing the brunt of that.
She just lost her footing, I think, earlier in the play and just couldn't stay up.
Back with our spine also allowed Vicky Losada to tie her shoe here on the left side. Spotted this free kick. Finally, Brittany Taylor will set it. it left, headed back and into the path of Boyd quite nearly by Christine Nairn. Out for a corner kick. A bit of an unforced error there in the 58th minute.
Well, I'm not so sure why nobody was even marking Carly Lloyd there. That ball gets through, it falls to her feet. She's one-on-one with Ashlyn Harris.
Short corner for Losada. Left foot across in towards the middle. Header won by Tori Huster. It'll fall now for Carly Lloyd. And she'll switch it right for Kat Reynolds. Under pressure from Dunn. Taylor with the early ball in. Kerr is onside this time, and now the flag does come up. The Australian already off to a strong starting lead in the league and offside.
Right. What is that, 3, 4?
At least.
Maybe a little too anxious to get forward there.
Nairn. Like players that make those aggressive runs because
yeah.
Be offside all the time,
right.
And they're in.
And should make things happen with those types of runs.
Unforced there was Averbush, can't find the feet of Matheson there on the sideline. A throw in for Western New York.
Averbush was under no pressure whatsoever. That just shouldn't happen at this level.
Allocated for the U.S. national team this year, Yael Averbush. Crystal Dunn also, even though she was the first draft pick, also is getting paid by the national team to be here. Sliding tackle in from Gale, and the Canadian will concede a corner. Oh, I believe the center official overruled and gave a goal kick.
Right. I didn't really see the deflection there.
I thought that was a pretty clear corner.
Mm-hmm. But they're way closer than we are.
What do you make of the Spirit playing all these set pieces short? Do you like it, or do you think they need to mix it up a little?
Well, I mean, it's okay. They may be obviously closer to the goal. They need to kind of send those services in to see what they can do. But it's fine. They're trying to build out of the back.
Aaron with a nice touch there to evade some pressure. Working across midfield and find the feet of Averbush. Early ball in towards Taylor, headed by Barzik forward. Now it's Zerboni. Adriana chests it down, trying to turn Tori Huster. Now Matheson will get a foot in and win the ball. Matheson beats one. Plays it through for Taylor, but it hangs for Barzik, who heads it forward. Nice touch there to find Losada on the left side. Now it's Krieger. Huster. Now Christine Nairn. Presley. Jody Taylor turning inside against Salem. Cuts back now and finds the feet of Matheson. Marked by McCall Zerboni. Presley.
I definitely think the last 10 minutes here has been all Washington Spirit.
Nairn's ball in towards Taylor. Just a step out of her path, but she'll recover. Dunn is deflected.
She thought about striking that initial ball. She kind of hesitated a little bit, and that's what let the ball kind of get away from her.
Throw in deep. Dunn, but Barzik, who's had, I think, a good match filling in at center back, clears it again.
She's been very solid back there.
I think defensive midfielder to center back might be a little bit of an easier transition than most.
Yes. She's got to be a little bit more disciplined as a center back.
Averbush behind Matheson, but she recovers against Zerboni and drops it. Spirit are getting a lot of possession, Danielle. There really hasn't been a ton of balls in the end of the final third. It's been a lot of this possession in midfield.
Yes. Well, if you notice, Western New York's kind of just sitting back and allowing them just to continue to knock it around the back line.
All over the top, looking for Crystal Dunn. Williams off her line, runs into Dunn. We were just going to play on there.
Yeah,
either way.
That was a great play by Williams. She came out, attacked the ball, didn't allow Crystal Dunn to get anything on it.
I thought maybe they would listen Dunn there for a bit of obstruction. But we continue. And again, that's what I like to see. Just let the two teams hash it out on the field. Taylor for Kerr. Now Salem. Barzik. Adriana's touch is heavy. Stepping in as the goal scorer, Losada. Playing it through now. Kerr would have been outside again, but she stopped her run.
She just wants every ball played through to her. She's just off to the races every single time.
We're in the 43rd minute here at the Maryland SoccerPlex. Michael Minnick and Danielle Malagari here with you. Back home again next Saturday to play FC Kansas City. A chance to see Lauren Holiday and company.
The one time they came here last year, she was at her wedding.
WSL MVP in DC last year. But I'm sure she has fond memories of this place. She actually scored her first professional goal here for the Boston Breakers in 2010. That team, of course, was Jordan Angeli.
They meet again.
Averbush playing it through. Taylor had checked her run because she knew she was offside. It'll be Palmer picking it up for Western New York, playing it up the line. Skips by the feet of Krieger and Losada out for a throw-in for Washington. Matheson trying the through ball again, but it's cleared by Brittany Taylor. Stepping back is Adriana to win it for her Spanish teammate Losada. Now Zerboni. Barzik will hit it left-footed forward. Header won by Huster. Touch now from Averbush for Krieger. Averbush tangled up there, and whistle goes against Carly Lloyd this time. She fouls her national team teammate. Gives her a hand up, and Pandoro says no more.
She definitely got the ball, but she got a little bit more body than I think he would have liked.
Mark Parsons speaking to the fourth official right now about something. Be interesting to see. Now, move Gale up a little bit with this free kick as Krieger knocks it forward. Too tall for Quayer. It's headed instead by Kat Reynolds for Western New York. Now it's Presley. Thrown away by the Flash. Chance for Kerr to run forward. Wide it comes. It's Carly Lloyd. Trying to cut in on Presley and does so. Presley gets her body in front. Western New York appealing for a call, but they never get it.
No way. Presley did a great job at using her body there to get herself between the ball and the player.
Ball over the top is well out of the reach of Jody Taylor, who will now pressure Brittany Taylor, but enough momentum on that ball to go out for a throw as we move into stoppage time, which we'll have 1 minute of here in the first half.
Ladies and gentlemen, the fourth official has indicated stoppage time.
Matheson playing it through for Taylor. Taylor gets York. It's been hugely important. Kerr's been offside, yes, several times, but she's got herself in good position, so slide on the other side. And then you've got Carly Wood making runs in the middle.
Right. I mean, going forward, Western New York just has weapons all over the field. They're doing a great job, but their flank play is what is very good today.
Abby Wambach, although she's not playing, is still leading, still talking to her teammates and giving Carly Wood some tips right now.
Right.
You know, even if she's not playing, what a presence to have on your bench.
Oh, yes. And it's always nice to have somebody like that see it from a different point of view. You know, Abby's usually out there. She's directing from the field, but it's just a different point of view when she's on the sideline. So she's probably giving herself a little good advice there.
What about the Spirit? Who stood out for you? Maybe what stood out for you in that first half?
I don't think Renee Quayer got as involved as she probably could as a front runner. I think Jody Taylor's I'm just a super fan of hers. I'm always going to be a super fan of hers. She's done some really good things. Diana Matheson really picked it up in the last 15-20 minutes there. I think solid all the way around. Once they settled into their game, they definitely started knocking it a little bit more.
Yes, it's a windy day, but do you think Ashlyn Harris should have got a little bit on that ball, or it's just one of those things?
She almost did. I mean, I think the pace behind the ball was just too much for her to handle, especially with her running backwards. Looked like she lost her footing a little bit. It's just one of those unfortunate goals.
So, with the score at the half, Western New York 1 and Washington 0. We'll take a break. We're back with the second half in just a little bit. You're watching the NWSL on YouTube.
Super Wise Summer Team. Tryout for the Virginia and Maryland teams are being
Second half underway here at the Maryland SoccerPlex. Michael Minnick alongside Daniel Malagari. No changes for either team, so we'll get you the 11s here in just 1 second. For Western New York, it's Lydia Williams who just missed that back pass, giving up a corner kick. Lydia Williams in goal. Haley Palmer, Amy Barzik, Brittany Taylor, Kat Reynolds across the back. Angela Salem, McCall Zerboni, Carly Wood in midfield, and then Sam Kerr, Vicky Losada in the attacking mid spots behind Adriana. For the Spirit, Ashley Harrison goal, Robin Gale, Tony Presley, Tori Huster, Allie Kruger across the back. And one of the defensive mids, Christine Nairn, will take this corner kick here from the near side. Driven in towards the far post, intended for Avery Bush, headed instead by Sam Kerr out for a throw-in. So it's Avery Bush, Nairn, and Matheson in the midfield. Dunn and Quayer out wide. Jody Taylor is the point of the spear out attacking forward.
Really no need to make any changes at the beginning of this half. Both teams have been very solid through the first 45 minutes.
Goal kick now off that errant cross from Crystal Dunn. Again, if you're just joining us, Western New York leading 1-0. Vicky Losada's goal in the 15th minute, aided a little bit by the wind as it flew over Ashlyn Harris's head and into the back of the net.
Ashlyn Harris just wasn't expecting it. She was a little bit too far off her line.
Reynolds knocks it out for a throw in, which Robin Gale will take.
I want to give a little bit of a shout out to Marissa Abeg. I heard from her at halftime, former Spirit player who retired this year. Hey, Abeg.
Really stepped in last year, basically from semi-pro ball, stepped into the back four of a professional team and did very well.
Yeah, she did. I was teammates with her previously with DC United. She was just a great captain for our team, just a great leader out there.
And I know the team wanted her back, and it just didn't work for Marissa to come back for another year. But
comes a point when you have to move on, focus on other things.
Kerr wins to header over at Quayar. Now to the near side it comes. Garrett and Adriana to the ball. Nice job by Quayar to keep it in play. But over to Quayar does Brittany Taylor. Now Sam Kerr, the 20-year-old Australian, sets up the right foot, plays it to looking for Adriana. Popped up by the head of Tori Huster towards the near side. Huster now will chest it down. Forward again towards the sideline. Into the corner it goes. Losada comes out with it. Tangles up with Huster. And again, if you're just joining us, this is the way this game's been called. A lot has been let go. The players allowed to play. Not a lot of fouls called.
No cards yet, but I definitely think there have been some fouls that were card-worthy.
Zerboni trying the chip wide right. Kroger's offside again.
I think that's 6 on the night. I think something Western New York could have learned from the Spirit in the first half is those long diagonal balls just aren't really going to work today because the wind's just coming through so fast, so hard that they're just holding up in the wind.
One adjustment the Spirit made pretty much moving through that first half, Danielle, was to flip Quayar and Dunn.
Right.
They've done that again here where Dunn's on the right, Quayar on the left here in the second half with Taylor in the middle of them.
I wasn't so sure if that was a tactical move by Parsons, but seeing how they came out in the second half, it definitely was.
Cleared out by Barzik. And it's something we talked about before, Danielle, about making Kerr defend a little bit more. And you have to do that if Quayar is on her side.
Right.
Certainly Dunn would get forward too, but Quayar is more of an attacking player.
Yes.
Pass there was intended for Crystal Dunn, but hit a couple legs on the way through. It will be a corner for Washington in the 50th minute.
Judging by how many times Kerr's been offsides, she isn't really getting back defensively, so there is a big gap between the forwards and the back line for Western New York.
Again, it'll be Christine Nairn who's taken, I believe, every corner today for the Spirit. Left-footed ball from the far side. And it comes from the former Penn State Nittany Lion. Towards Huster, skips to the far post and goes in. I'm not sure that was touched. That might be a goal for Christine Nairn.
I think the wind might have blown it in there. I'm not so sure. It did not touch anybody at all. But you know what? The Spirit will take it either way. They came out hard in the first 5 minutes here and put a ball in the back of the net. They'll take it.
Earth, wind, and spirit is Christine Nairn.
Yes. Let's see who they give it to.
They announced Nairn. We'll see after the game who they officially give it to.
Right.
But Christine Nairn has tied this game in probably in the 50th minute.
Right. Yeah, I mean, you see those types of services in, in the youth levels and in high school and stuff like that. The curled ball in that they just kick hoping it goes in. That didn't really curl into the net, but it hit the ground, took a funny bounce, went in.
Ball up the side looking for Kerr. Tracked well by Robin Gale. Averbush. Back heel from Cuellar into space, but nobody home in red.
Not so sure who she was playing to there.
So the fourth professional goal of Christine Nairn's career, her second against Western New York. She scored the winner for Seattle on July 11th last year in a 3-2 game. Equalizer today. And Presley plays that one out of bounds, trying to drop it for Ashlyn Harrison. An unforced error gives a corner kick away to Western New York.
There's been a couple of unforced errors, especially in the first half. And here with both teams, those things need to be cleaned up.
Short passes, too. It's not like you're hitting a ball in the wind and the wind's getting a hold of it and it's going away from the intended target.
Right.
It's been 5-yard passes.
Yeah.
Losada's corner, whacked towards the far post, headed back in the mixer by Lloyd. Barzik's shot is blocked. Stays alive on the inline on the far side for Amy Barzik. Drop now for Lloyd. She sets up the right foot. Ship towards the far post. Making the late run is Losada, and over to get a touch in is Matheson.
Losada was just hanging out on the right side over there. No Spirit player was even near her. Diana Matheson did a good job at covering and clearing that ball.
Up comes Kat Reynolds to take the throw in for Western New York. That, by the way, the first goal scored by the Spirit in the run of play against Western New York, as their only goal last year was a penalty kick.
Did you see the previous three?
Ball played over the top. Taylor gets a piece of it. Recovers now. Barzik. Now Krieger. Mathis was making the run through and the pass was behind her. Easy pick for Barzik in Western New York, who built across midfield. So building with a chip to the left side. It's Losada now, going to work against Krieger. Krieger putting a body on her and drawing the foul. Clearly obstruction there from the Spirit right back.
There's no way Krieger's going to allow that ball to go through her legs and not put a little body on her.
Corner comes in from Nairn, as you see in the replay, and it just kind of dies, bounces it off the post. I mean, I think both teams were stunned that went in, Danielle.
Right, yeah. Nobody even got a touch on it. Good service by Nairn. Sometimes you got to make something of nothing.
Western New York has something here. A free kick from the far side here. A right-footed ball driven in towards the far post. Sliding in and scoring is Brittany Taylor. What a right-footed finish. She was a forward for a while at UConn and certainly showed it there. It's 2-1 Western New York in the 54th minute.
I know Renee Cuellar isn't much of a defender, but she needs to do a better job at putting a body in there. She just watched her blow by her and tapped the ball in the back of the net past Ashlyn.
Rolling the other replay.
One goal scored in the...
Ashlyn Harris had no chance there at the near post as that ball was slid in. Taylor in a beautiful spot at the right time.
Right.
Perfectly placed ball and a perfectly placed run.
Yeah. Cuellar just needs to do a better job there.
So last year, Danielle, we saw some late fireworks, 2 goals in the last 10 minutes. Now we see 2 in the first 10 minutes of the second half.
Right. Well, usually in the game of soccer, when you score, you say the big 5 minutes because you don't want to give anything up after that. Or sorry, between that 5-minute span, and they did. That's something that the Spirit have to do a better job at holding off.
Here's a free kick the other way as the Spirit will have it about 25 yards from goal on the right side. This is an ideal place to hit a ball to the far post, just like Western New York just did.
And they have the wind behind them a little bit. See what they can make of this.
Three players over this one. Averbush, Nairn, and Presley. It'll be Everbush playing in the low ball, and I think everybody expected that to be driven to the far post. That late run was actually a decent play, but nobody in Ray could get a foot on it.
That wasn't even near the goal.
Now Everbush, 22 yards from goal. Her touch is heavy. Slid away now to Nairn. Nairn will try the shot from deep, and it's caught low by Lydia Williams.
Nairn can be so incredibly dangerous because she can get something on every single ball from distance. She can put so much power both right and left.
So it was Losada in the 15th minute giving Western New York the lead. That hung up for 35 minutes. Then Christine Nairn scoring on a corner kick, directly from a corner kick in the 50th minute. And then Brittany Taylor burying a free kick in the 54th minute. And I believe Losada hit that one as well, correct? So she has an assist and a goal now.
Yep. Right before that second Western New York goal, I was about to say they're gaining a little bit momentum here with the Spirit. Tough goal to give up.
Brittany Taylor scored 3 goals last year in NWSL, so now 4 for her pro career in a season plus. Of course, played in WPS as well and was very good. Now Crystal Dunn on the right side, looking to make her mark on her debut. Steps into the box, plays it wide, and just out of bounds. Well, she was knocked in by the Spirit, but won't count, of course.
That's a great run by Krieger there, and that's something that we will expect to see all season from her. And I think that's probably one of the best runs she's made all day. She really hasn't been able to get up.
Goal kick from Williams. Fought for in the air by Everbush and Lloyd. It knuckles to the feet of Losada. She'll play the ball over the top on the right side. Sam Kerr is onside this time. Trying to touch it over the head of Robin Gale, but the Canadian stands her ground. Might have been a handball there as a hit. Definitely something on the way back down, but we'll play on as Gale handles. Switch to Krieger. Back left it comes. Matheson will win it roll for Renee Cuellar. Cuellar dancing on the sideline, now cutting inside. Ball in the middle is off the mark, intended for Jody Taylor.
Jody Taylor was running away, expecting more of a through ball there.
Now Carly Lloyd has time and space to poke her head up and run to the defense. Still nobody picking up Carly Lloyd. She'll chip it towards the left side. A nicely weighted ball for Adriana. But Krieger's there in a better position. Will use her body to shield Adriana off and concede the goal kick. 58th minute. It's been a good one here at the Maryland SoccerPlex. 2-1. Western New York leads Washington. And it's early, but Danielle, we can easily say this isn't the Spirit team we saw last year.
Oh, absolutely not. There's just so much. Well, the work rate is a lot different than last year, but the movement off the ball, the creativity, they're connected a little bit more. It's definitely a much better, much improved squad from last year.
Actually, this is kind of the Spirit team we saw late last year.
Right.
The one that finished with the win over Chicago, the win over Seattle, a draw against Sky Blue FC, a better group to finish the year in the final month. Ball was well too hard for the run of Renee Cuellar, and the goal kick will come for Western New York in the 59th minute. Both teams have all 3 substitutions available. Western New York's bench has been shortened quite a bit by Kat Williamson's suspension for the 2 yellows she received in last year's NWSL final while playing for Portland, and of course Abby Wambach out injured. So that really ties your hands in terms of what you can bring off the bench if you're Aaron Lyons. Spirit without Denisha Adams and Tiffany Weimer today. Ball comes left, looking for Cuellar, and again, just too much on, and the flag was up anyway.
Right. Renee needs to do a better job at looking just across the line there and seeing how far offside she was. I would say maybe a step or two, not entirely too far, but she just needs to take a peek across and notice there's no white players near her.
Mark Parsons is taking a walk off of his bench to speak to a couple substitutes that are stretching to the right of that bench here on the near side. And I mentioned Tiffany Weimer. This is the kind of game that you wish you had Tiffany Weimer.
Oh, yes, absolutely.
Down a goal, bring her on for the last 20-25 minutes and see if she can make something happen.
Yeah.
Foul against Gale in the Spirit. Free kick for Western New York. Some nice dribbling skill though from Miguel Pandoro to place that ball on the sideline.
Yeah.
Showed off both feet there.
He's trying to make a name for himself. Not as a ref.
Well, he's on YouTube. He could be famous.
Yeah.
He's getting streamed right now.
Yeah.
Brittany Taylor, who scored the last one off a set piece, will deliver this time. Nicely driven ball. Lloyd getting a piece of it. Stumbles in the box. And Ashlyn Harris will come off the line.
Spirit need to do a better job at just staying with their marks on those types of services.
Taylor going left. Cuellar, who's been more active in this half, chips it towards the middle. Looked like a handball there from Salem, and Pandora agrees, blows the whistle. Free kick for the Spirit. Just a little. Higher.
Yeah, she ran for the full 45.
Presley will try the free kick and it goes high. Scored her only goal against the Spirit last year too for Western New York.
Today, this is not something that they want. Obviously, you never want a player, to go down injured. Definitely not your captain.
Nobody's warming up in white, so I think Brittany Taylor's going to play through this. One of the Iron Women last year. Started 21 games, played 90 in all of them. Taylor will take this free kick, hangs up, and Houston wins the header. Picked up on the far side by Kernes, overlap from McCall's Zerboni. She'll take a bump from Cuellar and win a corner. Set piece now for Western New York in the 64th minute. It will be Losada taking, who already has an assist on a free kick today. Ball again will hang up in the wind. Gets by the first line. Volley now will go high and wide. And actually will stay in play. Losada dropping it back. Adriana tries the early chip. Zerboni will hustle for it against Huster on the far side now. Keep it alive on the sideline. Try to cut inside. Huster stands her ground well and slides to Ali Krieger.
Every time a service is in, no one really knows where the ball is going to land because the wind does take over.
Perez with their first meaningful touches of the game, and the flag is up on Jody Taylor. Although Reynolds tucked back a little bit, it was after the ball was played.
Yes. with the wind behind their back, the Spirit has to realize the balls that they're going to be playing through are just not going to hold up. They're going to go directly to Williams every time. They're going to have to try to be a little bit more creative to get forward.
I would think Perez is the obvious offensive sub, but I'm not sure who else you really bring on for attacking bite right now.
Yes.
I mean, Maureen Lindsay certainly can strike a ball, but she's a little bit more comfortable farther up the field. But maybe you bring Lindsay in and move Averbush up or Nairn up and get the attacking punch that way.
Yes. Yeah, Nairn can strike it from anywhere, so why not push her up a little bit more? Looks like Jordan Angeli's warming up on the sideline for the Spirit.
That's another option.
Yeah.
Scored 7 goals in WPS for Boston, including 6 for rookie year.
He can really play anywhere.
He's been playing as a holding mid for Mark Parsons in preseason, but you're right. She can play forward, she can play midfielder, she can play defender if you need her to. Williams playing smart here with a 1-goal lead, killing a couple of seconds before rolling it to Brittany Taylor. Carly Lloyd has really come back well to get the ball when she's had to and played some defense as well as getting what she does in the attack. But now the counter is on, off the deflection. It's Losada, and Losada has her second. Chips it over Ashlyn Harris, tucks it in the far corner. What a debut for the Spanish international. 2 goals and an assist. And it's 3-1 Western New York in the 67th minute.
That was a brilliant finish. Again, Ashlyn Harris was a little bit too far off her line. But the backs, Gail and Presley, were both high, and they found that space in behind for her to get into, for Losada to get into there.
Even with the deflection, she was gone.
Oh, yeah.
You know, if that ball from Adriana would have been clean, she would have had an even easier breakaway.
Yes.
So, the best attack in NWSL last year, so far the best attack in NWSL this year. Western New York's got 3 on the board. And conversely, the team that gave up the most goals in the league has given up the most goals in the league this year so far in Washington. Cuellar trying to change the fortunes of the Spirit. Good cross towards the far post, too tall for her fellow Mexican, Veronica Perez, and it goes out for a goal kick. Jordan Angeli has the pity off, and what a moment this is going to be for her in a few minutes when she steps on.
She really needs to come in here and change the mindset of the Spirit at this point. They're down 2 goals, 22 minutes left. She really needs to come in and make something happen.
Lori Lindsay giving Angeli some final instructions, but looks like Lindsay will stay on the bench for the time being.
Coach Lindsay.
Lloyd playing it wide right. Kerr is on, going to work against Robin Gale. Adriana and Lloyd making the run centrally, and that cross was never going to be in play as it goes behind. 3 years and a couple of days after she tore her ACL for the 3rd time, Jordan Angeli is back. She comes home for Renee Cuellar.
I think this is a really good substitution. I don't think Renee Cuellar did as much as she probably could outside there. If you look, they bumped Jordan into the middle, Matheson a little bit higher to see if maybe something can happen on that left flank.
Certainly, that was the recipe for most of the Spirit's late heroics last year. Just push Matheson up and they could do something.
Have her draw a PK.
Half of Matheson's team leading 8 goals last year came from the spot last year. Throw in popped up by Presley. So let it roll for Salem. Skips by Carly Wood, and now Angeli on the ball again. Square for Krieger. Taylor off the air, through the ball. Short for Salem. Salem's one of those underrated players that just does all the work. He's in the right place at the right time. Really supports that center back pairing.
And she just took a hit right there from Averbush. Right when I said she does the dirty work. She gets a knee right into her thigh.
So the Spirit have used 2 of their 3 changes as Perez and Angeli are on. Western New York, why change what's working? You've got 3 goals on the board. You stick with the same 11.
Yep, they have 4 players warming up right now. I think the only available players.
Yes. Abby Wambach is chilling on the bench with a penny one, but she's not playing in this one.
No.
Still recovering from the orbital bone fracture she suffered in the China game.
She's tough, I tell you.
Brittany Taylor's free kick driven low, and Ashlyn Harris will have a scoop on 1 bounce. Really haven't seen a lot of saves in this game. The chances have just gone in.
Yeah, most of the opportunities that have been on frame have gone in. There hasn't been these diving saves by either keeper.
Taylor now chipping it up for herself on the bounce, crossing it in. Ball knuckles in the wind and dies for Lydia Williams as Matheson was making the late run.
Yep. Matheson was there, it just didn't fall to her.
So, final 20 minutes of this match. The Spirit can really change this if they can get a goal, but they got to get it quick.
You know, a 2-goal lead is definitely the worst lead to have in soccer because another goal gets the Spirit right back in it.
Between Kerr, Lloyd, and Losada, you have 3 players on the field that have already scored multiple goals against the Spirit in NWSL. Lloyd had 4 against them last year. Kerr scored a pair, and now Losada with a brace today.
Yep. All of them having very solid performances today as well.
Angelique collides with Kerr. Presley steps up to clear. Had a great chance to talk to Jordan Angeli last week about her recovery and her return to this team, and you can tell that she's just so grateful to be back playing again.
Yeah, I read a little article about her this morning, and I don't remember what site I saw it on, but she was just talking about her return, and she gets all choked up and teary-eyed talking about it. You saw Tiff Weimer walk over and give her a big hug before she went in. Like you said, she's just so grateful to be out there, and the recovery process that she has taken has been long, but worth it.
And a collision there wins a header, and as we said, she was one of the best rookies in WPS in 2010 for Boston, and I was reading an old article about the breakout stars of that season, and it was, you know, her, Lauren Cheney, you know, people that are fixtures on the national team now. Kerr's cross is blocked, the wing gets a piece of it again, and now Presley will settle in her own 18. And as we said, that was the 3rd ACL tear for Angeli. Happened twice at Santa Clara, turned pro, got through her first year in Boston without being injured, scored in her 2nd season debut, and then got hurt about 29 minutes into that game. Taylor making the run forward, but the ball has too much on it, chested down by Williams, who will waste precious seconds on her own 18 before picking it up.
Williams is actually doing a very good job staying at the top of their box, expecting every single ball to go through and roll to her, because the wind's just going to take it. She's being very smart.
I'll be curious after this game to see if Sam Kerr, if Lydia Williams have any reaction to Tom Sermani being fired. Of course, their former coach with the national team in Australia.
Right. I know, that's something we definitely haven't touched on today. I think they're just going in a different direction.
Flag is up on Lloyd. Yeah, and very fascinating to see. Obviously, the Sermani firing caught people by surprise, but it's clear that a different direction was asked for.
Right.
And interesting to see what that direction is going to be. Who do they bring in?
We'll see.
And of course, the interesting thing too, especially in relation to this league, is if you bring in a Paul Riley, you know, and take him away from Portland early in the season, that really changes the course of their season.
Oh, yeah. I've heard nothing but great things about Paul Riley. I'm sure he's probably a contender.
Comes wide. Krieger on the move, nobody picking up Allie Krieger, and she finds the feet of Christine Nairn looking for her 2nd goal, chips it left and well out of the run of Matheson, who was one-on-one on that left side, but the pass not on the mark.
They just got to look for a little bit more combination play to get themselves in behind. These through balls just aren't working.
This Western New York team, we mentioned regular season champions last year, lost in the final in their home field to Portland last year. The first time Aaron Lenz hasn't won a title.
Right.
As from league to league to league, the consistency always was that the Western New York Flash were always on top in the end.
And they're starting very strong today. They're proving why they're on top all the time.
Nairn with the steal, tangles up with Wood. Crowd groans, but the play continues. Wood playing a nice ball up that right side, trying to pick out Sam Kerr, but Robin Gale intercepts for Washington. Avery Bush starts the attack, but her pass off the mark intended for Perez. Williams again with some gamesmanship, dribbling on the edge of her 18 and finally picking up. Certainly this game is being played at the pace that Western New York wants it, which is a little bit slower, a lot more stoppages on dead balls.
Waste a little time every time they get it.
Wind blows out, went over Nairn's head and into the path of Brittany Taylor, who finds McCall Zerboni. And Zerboni's another one that is just very steady.
Oh, yeah.
Wins tackles, makes smart passes, links up well with the back and the front of this team. Adriana, heavy touch there, and if she'd brought that down, she would have had a really good look at goal.
Zerboni's just all over the place, on the ball, off the ball, defensively, offensively. She's just doing some really great work in the midfield today.
Mentioned Warren Chaney, she was on that college team with McCall Zerboni. That UCLA group was absolutely loaded. Huster, back to Ashlyn Harris.
The movement right now for the Spirit is just kind of, it's not non-existent, really.
It's stagnant right now from Washington. Out wide it comes. Trapped back by Palmer, who has done well in her first professional appearance, first professional start, filling in at left back. Be curious to see when Williamson comes back how that changes the complexion of this team. Does she come right in at center back? Because I think Barzy's had a good match. You know, do you push Palmer to the bench? Do you keep it at left back?
Guess we're just going to have to wait and see.
The luxury of having depth and talent is something that Airlines certainly has so far this year.
Right.
I mean, this team's come in and scored 3 goals without Abby Wambach. That says a lot.
But we talked about that last year. Abby didn't have a huge amount of goals against, if any. How many did she have?
Didn't score against the Spirit last year. Just set up everybody else.
Yes, which she's very good at doing.
3 assists against the Spirit last year, but didn't score. Matheson tangled up there, and that was just inadvertent, but got to call the foul there on Kat Reynolds. And we'll see a change both ways. Bianca Sierra will be the 3rd change for Washington. Looks like Robin Gale will make way, so a straight swap at left back. And we'll see the New Zealander, Emma Kite. And she will replace Barzyk. So Kite, a forward, coming on. Actually, I think they're going to change the number now. Losada's going to come off. I saw 22 flash on the board, and that didn't make sense. This makes more sense.
Yep.
You give Losada a bit of a curtain call. What a great game from the Spaniard. 2 goals, 1 assist, in about 78 minutes of play.
There's really not much more you would want to ask of her.
Kite, the 26-year-old from Auckland, New Zealand, making her NWSL debut after being signed in the offseason. Through ball into the box for Taylor, and the flag is up late on Jody Taylor. Again, the Spirit will be home once again next Saturday against FC Kansas City. Once again, we'll have that broadcast brought to you by Mama Lucia's and the good folks at the Hampton Inn. Loyal Spirit sponsors all. And I'm excited to see kind of how that team has changed from last year. Christy Mewis out of the picture. Amy Rodriguez into the picture. But you still have Holiday. You still have Erica Temrak. A good group for Vlatko Anganovsky and the Blues.
A-Rod had a great welcoming to the league by scoring her first goal yesterday.
David Bush's chip is blocked, yes. Was allocated to Seattle last year, but was pregnant and took the year off. And then was traded as part of that deal with LaRue and Mewis that sent Sydney out west and Mewis back to Boston where she played her college ball.
You're way better at keeping track of everything that's going on with the movement.
Kind of my job.
Yeah, it is.
We're going to have a corner here as that ball was deflected the way through, but Maureen can see if she can summon some magic here. Matheson's coming short. I just hit this in the box. It's already worked once.
Yes. But they don't need to be really holding two players back. Krieger should be getting in. They need to score a goal now.
Nobody is forward for Western New York. Everybody's either in the box or guarding this corner kick.
Throw a few more numbers in.
80th minute. Spirit trying to find a lifeline. Christine Nairn drives it, and it's a good ball punched by Williams. Avery Bush in a foot race on that far side, and Sam Kerr wins it. One of the faster players in the league knocks it out for a throw. Touch in the box now. Avery Bush can't get a shot off. Kept alive though. Cleared high by Brittany Taylor. Poked back in by the Spirits. Krieger now stepping up to Sierra, playing it in the middle. Headed again. Wood whiffs on the volley. Presley will drop it back for Huster. Everybody passed on Harris on this half of the field. Bianca Sierra, professional debut for her, playing Angeli. Fuck now from Taylor, but it's picked off by Brittany Taylor. Adriana will hit it long. It'll sit in the wind for Carly Lloyd, who kicks it up the line to no avail.
I think Carly Lloyd's been pretty quiet today. I really haven't seen her play the way we've seen her play previously in the games against Spirit.
I think she's been quiet in terms of what Carly Lloyd normally does. Right. She's taking shots from deep, she's active in the attack. But I think she's done well in terms of just keeping possession, linking, playing as more of a traditional holding midfielder rather than attacking midfielder.
Definitely a solid game for her, solid performance.
Ball played through. Chance now on the break for Western New York. On the left side, it's Kite. Her shot is blocked. And the fall Sierra. And a lot of space for Western New York's attackers.
Yeah, but nobody went in with her. She was 1v4.
Which you expect with the two-goal league. Right. You're not gonna roll too many dice in this point of the game.
Yeah, not worth it.
Nairn, Matheson, checking a run now is Taylor, and making the late run is Perez, and that just came to nothing as it comes through to Williams. Palmer. Drop back now by Kite to Barzik. Taylor. Kat Reynolds. Salem. Switch now. And offside there was the call, and Kite whistled that one wide as she continued to play, but referee assistants have been busy today.
I thought she was a little more even than it looked.
That was closer certainly than a lot of the calls that have been made today. Presley. Huster. And off the mark.
Western New York's just going to kind of ride this out, keep all the numbers behind the ball and not allow the Spirit to get any sort of sniff on the goal.
Yeah, I mean, we talked about it and used the word stagnant as Nairn makes the steal, and now Taylor tries to cut back. Broken up there by Cerboni, but just not a lot of ideas right now for Washington. Kerr takes a tumble there. Play on as Averbush wins the ball. Ball left now for Bianca Sierra. Averbush, Matheson. So between Sierra and Palmer, we have two left backs that just pretty much walked over to their team and won a spot.
Yeah, and we were very impressed with Sierra's work in the first 3 preseason games for the Spirit.
I think she's better on the outside, but can play in the middle. Perez, Nairn. Wide it comes, early cross, blocked by Salem. Crossing in, flicked on by Perez, and just out of the path of Matheson.
I thought there was some sort of deflection there off of Reynolds. Guess not.
Certainly Reynolds or Perez or both got a piece of that one. Speaking of left backs, that's what Kat Reynolds played last year for Western New York, because they had Alex Salin on the right side. She started every regular season game, but then she got hurt. She's out this year because she's pregnant, so had to adjust things anyway with the outside back situation. And Sarah Hoffman gets traded late in the preseason, and she was someone that filled in at that spot when Sandlin went down. So they've found a jewel so far in Haley Palmer. She's had a good first 90 minutes.
Limited options for them, but they're doing really well with what they have.
Taylor hits that over the fence behind the SoccerPlex. That's right.
I don't think I've ever seen that.
Home run for Brittany Taylor. Or just a long foul ball.
Yeah.
Reminder, the players will sign autographs after the
Touchback for Nairn.
Please do not leave it at the rail.
Nicely driven ball and just too tall for Jordan Angeli. What a great moment that would have been if Jordan Angeli had scored in this game.
Right. Well, Jordan Angeli was just in the box a little bit too early. All she did was jump straight up. She wasn't even attacking the ball.
Space now for Zerboni. Has Wood as an option in the middle. Zerboni will hold the ball and drop it for Barzik. Going back to this kind of, I wouldn't say a makeshift back line, but certainly not the back four that Aaron Lyons expected to play.
Right.
I think it's a little bit easier to do when it's the first game of the year and you have the whole preseason to work on it.
Yep. And they've done very well.
Presley. Schuster now. Ball over the top and out of the run of Sierra.
I said this about 10 minutes ago. Those types of services are just not going to work. The wind's going to take them out of bounds every single time. The Spirit, if they want to get back into this game, they have to do a little bit better job at being creative to get themselves forward.
Aaron Lyons will use his second substitution. It's Courtney Wetzel coming on from McCall Zerboni. So Wetzel, who was another piece of that trade that brought Kat Williamson in her first-round pick to Western Europe, and of course the other way it was Sarah Huffman who mentioned it. Oh yeah, Vera Bouquet. She's not bad.
Right.
I'll tell you what, seeing the Spanish players in this league, I don't know how Spain's not more of a force on the world stage. When you've got Losada, and you've got Adriana, and you've got Vero, I don't understand why Spain hasn't become a power, you know, to match the likes of, if not Germany, then of France or somebody like that.
Right. They definitely have the firepower.
Yeah, I think Losada's player of the game for me has to be. 2 goals and an assist. Krieger now. Up the line for Perez, the former Western New York Flash player, going to work against Barzik. Drops it back now. Krieger will try the cross. Volleyed out well by Reynolds. Battle for at the top of the 18 and cleared by Taylor, who's also had a very good match.
Very solid.
Lloyd playing it over the top. And that will sit for Houston, who drops it back to Ashlyn Harris. 88th minute. It's Western New York 3, Washington 1. Recap the goals for you again. It was Losada starting in the 15th minute, and really an even start. Breaking that deadlock in the 15th minute. Christine Nairn sees a corner kick, take a nice spin in the wind to tie the game in the 50th minute, but then Western New York drops the hammer. Brittany Taylor in the 54th minute, and Losada getting her second in the 67th to make it 3-1.
I think that was just a frustration foul there by Nairn. Things just aren't working at this moment for the Spirit.
Brittany Taylor, who finished a free kick from Losada for the winning goal as it stands now, will take this free kick. Headed out by Krieger, and it'll roll out for a throw in the 89th minute. I would imagine we'll see a ton of stoppage time. Haven't seen any injuries that really delayed things except for the little knock that Zerboni took that may have been the reason why she came off.
Yeah, with a 2-goal lead, why keep Zerboni in there if she has had, you know, a little bit of a knock? Definitely a smart decision.
And with Houston coming in, the schedule's gotten a little bit bigger. It's a little more compressed now, so you have to think strategically and say, well, if I can get 80 minutes out of McCall Zerboni instead of 90, she'll be a little bit more fresher for the next time around. Taylor making the run in. Brittany Taylor again tracking her as the two Taylors have rocked horns the entire game, and Lydia Williams off her line. Averbush.
Fourth official has indicated we have 3 minutes of stoppage time. 3 minutes. minutes.
3 minutes of stoppage time. Will that be enough for Jasmine Spencer to make a cameo appearance against her old team? She's at the table right now.
I always like to see some Terps getting a little bit of time out there.
She may be the only one left, Danielle.
I think she is.
The board is up, and it will be Jasmine Spencer coming on for Sam Kerr. So Spencer, who was a spark off the bench for Washington last year, just providing some speed to kill off this one for Western New York. We were talking before the game, Danielle, that the Spirit front line was much maligned, but McCarty found a place to play as Spencer gets the ball here, running towards goal. Sliding challenge from Sierra since Spencer tumbling, and it'll roll out for a corner kick. But Spencer found a home in Western New York.
Right.
Oaks was traded to Houston. McCarty went to Houston in the expansion draft. Miller's obviously still hurt for Washington, so there was something there. There was some talent there. They just couldn't find the back of the net last year.
Every single game, it was just something that was keeping them, you know, that extra touch. Which weren't able to finish.
Adriana's corner in stoppage time. Will come from the right side, go short, and they'll just kill some time here. Wetzel wins another corner. Adriana goes deep this time, over everybody. Foot race from the far side, won by Jody Taylor, who drops it. Huster hits it towards midfield. Easy pick for Barzik, who knocks it right back forward up the left side. Salem, Lloyd, stolen by Perez, who plays for Matheson. Pokes her head up and goes right for Taylor. Gets it back from Jody Taylor. Matheson now working against Angela Salem. Cutting inside, takes a tumble, draws the foul. Can't be too many more touches left in this one.
No. Matheson was kind of tabletop there. Take him from the top, take him from the bottom.
Nairn and Matheson will be the options as Matheson will now step off and let Christine Nairn take this left-footed. Has the only Spirit goal today off of a corner kick that was caught by the wind and found the back of the net. Drives this one on goal, and it's trouble again, but off the top netting.
That was definitely their best attempt on any of the set pieces today for the Spirit.
Yeah, I believe the only shot on goal they've had, but set piece was a corner kick that went in. That's an oddity.
Yep.
Williams hits it towards the near side. Sierra can't keep it alive. Throw for Kat Reynolds and the flash, deep into stoppage time. And the final whistle blows, so the Western New York Flash pick up where they left off last year. Their fourth straight win over the Washington Spirit. Vicky Losada with 2 goals and an assist. The Spanish international dominant as the Flash take the Spirit down 3-1, Danielle.
Yeah, it's an unfortunate start for the Spirit because they definitely wanted to show that they were going to be different than last year, but I don't think you should take this result to heart. I don't think this shows what they're capable of doing this year.
Yeah, I think this attacking group really missed Denisha Adams today.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Denisha Adams was pretty much played 90 minutes in most of the preseason games. So not having her definitely was an issue. Not having the ability to put Tiffany Weimer in there, that was a little bit disheartening for the Spirit. But you know, they're only going to continue to get better the more they get to know each other and continue to build their program.
Chantel Jones and Jasmine Spencer sharing a big hug at midfield.
Yeah.
The old teammates, friends again after this one.
Yep.
Things that we can take
So we talked about Losada and her great game. Brittany Taylor scores the goal, not only that, but I thought she had a very good match marking Jodie Taylor.
Yep. Jodie Taylor, her movement, like I've been saying the whole game, is fantastic off the ball, but the Spirit were not able to find her enough, especially in the second half. The first half she did some creative work on the ball, but in the second half the longer balls just weren't really getting to her.
Crystal Dunn's professional debut ends a little bit early as she's taken off in the 62nd minute. Kind of an uneven performance from her, I think, today.
Yeah, it's definitely not what we saw last week, but what we saw last week against University of Maryland, the competition is a little bit different. She's going to get healthier and hopefully produce a couple more things out there for the Spirit.
Mark Parsons is convening a team huddle right now. What do you think the message is to this team right now?
Don't be disheartened. Don't take this to heart. You know, we get back to the drawing board after we recover on Tuesday. Just continue to look forward. I'm sure he's going to say there were some good things that he saw out there. They just got to make sure it's for a full 90 minutes.
Things don't get any easier for the Spirit. FC Kansas City coming to town next week. What does this team need to do to improve between now and then?
I wouldn't say it was an awful performance. I definitely think there was a couple of holes in the back line. Marking was a little bit off here and there on set pieces. They just got to continue to make sure when inside the 18 in their own defensive 18, they have to be aware of where their marks are, because I think that's where a couple of the goals came from.
So recapping the scoring once again, Vicky Losada with a shot from deep that just kept carrying over Ashlyn Harris's head. Gave Western New York the lead in the 50th minute. Then it was the wind helping the Spirit. Christine Nairn's corner kick bends in the 50th minute. Then a free kick after a foul by Allie Krieger. From the left side, the serve comes this time from Losada. Brittany Taylor making a late run at the far post, finishing clean with her right foot. And then Losada putting the capper on this one in the 62nd minute. She scores her second, and Washington really struggled to find any offense after that.
Right. You know, I think Western New York is going to have a fantastic year. They scored 3 goals without Abby Wambach involved. So I'm sure they're going to be exciting to watch as the season progresses.
Yeah, I think Western New York might have gotten some bulletin board material out of the preseason where everybody said, oh, Portland's going to be so great.
Right.
And Seattle's going to be so great. Right. And Western New York's just chugging along getting wins.
Don't forget about us. That's definitely the message they sent today.
So the final score once again, Western New York 3 and Washington 1. Danielle and I'll be back Saturday night as FC Kansas City invades the Maryland SoccerPlex to play the Washington Spirit. Thanks for watching on YouTube, and goodbye from beautiful Germantown, Maryland.
And just kept blowing away.